When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of ShopPay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Hey, everybody. You can help us make Chris DeMakes A Podcast even better by telling us a little bit about yourself. Go to surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 for a quick listener survey. It only takes a couple minutes and it helps support our team. To show our appreciation, we're giving away 2 $50 gift cards to lucky participants every single month. Head to, go ahead and grab a pen, surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 now for your chance to win. Hey everybody, Chris DeMakes A Podcast producer Chris Fafalius here. Instead of a Throwback Thursday episode this week, I thought I'd share this week's episode of The After Party with everyone here on the main feed. If you're a member of our Patreon, you already heard this one a few days ago. But if you're not, then maybe consider going to chrisdemakes.com and checking it out. For the cost of buying Chris and I a cup of coffee because you enjoy our show, you'll get instant access to 258 episodes of The After Party. That's how many episodes we're up to now, plus a new episode every Monday. Depending on which tier you do, you can also get early releases of each week's episode of Chris DeMakes A Podcast, unedited video versions of the show, and opportunities to join us for episodes of Defeat DeMakes and The After Party. It's fun, it's cheap, and it allows us to continue making this show, so of course we'd appreciate it if you went to chrisdemakes.com. If you're on the fence, you can even sign up for a free account just to see the stuff we post and decide if you want to join. Okay, that's my opening pitch, but I'll let this episode of The After Party speak for itself. To follow up this week's episode about Sister Hazel's Change Your Mind, we did an episode about songs that changed the world. Enjoy.
Welcome to the After Party. Ready, set, let's go. Welcome to the After Party, the show after the show. Learn a little something new. Join us for the ride. Chris and Chris want all of you to know. The After Party's where it's at. The show after the show.
I'm ready to party, Chris. How about you?
I'm ready to party. We just had Ken Block from Sister Hazel back on the main show. I couldn't stop smiling and ranting and raving about how cool of a guy Ken Block is after that episode, Chris. What a dude.
I've always loved Ken. We were two Gainesville bands. I don't know if I ever told the story, but Less Than Jake had a show in Columbia, South Carolina, and they were playing a street fair, like a block up. And I got wind of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go down and say hello to these guys. I've never met them. I used to see Ken and Andrew around town playing all the time, and went up and I remember talking to Ken, and he couldn't have been more gracious.
Yeah, he is a really nice guy. You and him discussed the song Change Your Mind, which, by the way, that chorus is incredible in that song. I'll be completely honest, since it's the after party. The verses of that song kind of don't do it for me. I may have at the time or even now been like, okay, next song. Something about it doesn't hit me, but that chorus is just such a phenomenal, both melodically and lyrically. I just, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, the chorus is timeless. I feel like the verses, if I were to say one thing negative about it, it's very 90s. It's very that time period, even though it came out in 2000, but yeah.
I don't mean that in like a mean way. I obviously love the band. I told him that I'm a hazelnut now, but the chorus more than makes up for whatever I feel about the 90s-ish verses of the whole thing. But I like also the song is like an introspective song about changing your life, or at least you can interpret it that way. You talked to him about that.
Yeah.
You could take that lyric and apply it to your life regardless of what you're going through. And I think that's like an awesome quality of that song.
Yeah, man. You don't, that lyric's kind of one of those universal lyrics. I almost said to him, it's kind of like dumb. Why didn't I think of that lyric? He's like, yeah, it's a simple lyric, but those are the greatest ones.
So in this after party, I wanted to talk to you about some songs that may have, over the course of musical history, changed people's minds or changed the world in some way.
Okay.
And I found some articles, and a lot of these articles online reference the same songs. So if a song was in more than one article, I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to Chris about this song. So I got, how many of them here? I got 13 songs to bring up to you.
Can I try to guess a couple before we get going? All right. Got anything before I start guessing? You want anything that might help me fact-wise?
These are like songs that definitely like changed the world in one way or another. I feel like that's what's in common with all of these.
Okay. Is Imagine by John Lennon on there?
You know it. Yeah.
Imagine all the people living for today.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Let's
Came out
do
in
it.
1971. It was a humanistic call for peace, and the song turns the focus onto the listener in the end with the invitation, I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Yeah, I think the lyrics of that song really make you think about all the things he's asking you to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what like great art does, is ask a question and let you arrive at your own conclusion.
Sure.
You know?
And
Do you like Imagine?
I love Imagine. Yeah. It's, I don't know how you couldn't like it.
I think like in recent years, and this may have something to do with, I don't know if you remember that like a bunch of celebrities did during COVID, they did like a version of Imagine where they all like sang one line of it or something. And I think there's a little bit of like a backlash against this song as being like trite or something.
Uh-huh.
But the original song is, I think it's incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible
it's a great piece of music. I love it.
You got any other ones that come to mind?
Give Peace a Chance?
No, that was the only John Lennon song. Imagine was the only John Lennon song on this list.
Okay. Is We Are the World on there?
No, We Are the World is not on here.
Good.
Yeah, that one. I think that one changed the world and that they raised money and that hopefully that money, but I don't think the song really did.
Okay. How about this song, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing in Perfect Harmony?
You know what's funny? I didn't mark that one down, but I did see that on lists.
Okay. I got 10 more seconds. Let me think if I can think of other ones. We Are the Champions?
No, that wasn't on this list.
Okay. Well, I'm going to default to you now,
Okay.
Chris. Let's hear what you came up with.
So the first one was that I saw listed on multiple lists was I Am Woman by Helen Reddy.
I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman.
That song is also from 1971, and it was written during the peak of the women's liberation movement in America.
Yeah, okay. My brain didn't go that way with this. I could see that now.
Yeah.
All right.
So Helen wrote that song when she couldn't find any other song that spoke in an empowered way about what it meant to be a woman. And, Chris, this is something you could pull out of your brain for future Defeat DeMakes or music trivia. It was the first #1 hit by an Australian-born artist, and the first Australian penned song to win a Grammy. She won the Grammy for Best Female Performance. In her acceptance speech, this is awesome. She thanked God because she makes everything possible. Oh,
and back in that was brutal for her to say that then.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Those Australians don't fuck around, Chris.
No, they do not mince words. Which I'm going to take a stab now that you sent me in this direction. What about Alanis? You ought to know.
Not on this list,
because that was massive. That felt like the 90s version of I Am Woman. It felt like really empowering. I remember just women feeling like she was their artist, come to life to speak to them. But all right, what else you got?
All right, this is maybe the heaviest song on this. And I don't mean heavy as far as like a metal band, but I mean heavy subject matter. Strange Fruit from Billie Holiday from 1939.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
Originally written as a poem to protest racism and the atrocity of lynching of African Americans, Billie began performing Strange Fruit as her set closer, so that at the end of her set, the song's sobering reality would stick with people as they left her show. It's been covered by Nina Simone and Jeff Buckley. That song is haunting as hell.
I want to talk about a real vocal, real emotion. There was no fixing things in music back then. That's why it comes across.
Yeah, amazing song. Another song they had on here, Chris, Big Yellow Taxi from Joni Mitchell, came out in 1970 with the famous line, "They paved paradise to put up a parking lot."
Give me spots on my apples, or leave me the birds and the bees. Please don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
A timeless anthem of the importance of protecting natural resources, and it took a look at the relationship between the earth and modern civilization.
All right, now you pointed me into the war, the protest songs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay. Is Buffalo Springfield on here?
That
Watch children, what's that sound? Everybody know what's going down. That's like a Vietnam protest era track.
I'm surprised that I didn't mark that one down. That's for it's called For What It's Worth.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
there's a band called Plain Rap, a punk band, PLAINWRAP, two separate words that do a really cool cover of that song.
That song's awesome. And that was written. That's Stephen Stills. Stephen Stills.
Yeah, he was in Buffalo Springfield. Yep.
Incredible song. And that could have very easily been on this list as we go on because, Chris, here from 1983, Sunday Bloody Sunday from U2.
Oh, yes. Okay. Of course. That, of course, was about the troubles in Ireland.
Yep. Chronicled the atrocities of violence against unarmed civilian protesters in Northern Ireland. The song, however, and I think this is important to note about these songs, it doesn't advocate revenge. It has the repeated pre-chorus line of "How long must we sing this song?" which is ultimately a call to lay down weapons and think about the human cost of war. So, great song. Next one. Man, Chris, there's a lot of 1970 and 71 songs in here. Makes sense. It's Vietnam. But I think this is one of the most badass songs ever. It's more of a spoken word jazz poetry piece than it is a song, I guess.
Take a Walk on the Wild Side?
No, that's a good one. Okay. But okay. I'm talking about The Revolution Will Not Be Televised by Gil Scott-Heron.
Oh, of course. Okay.
You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated.
This is like a collage of references of everything from advertisements to politics. I mean, there will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of hairy-armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, the revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. Like, dude, it is like the best piece of slam poetry I've ever heard in my life. I love it.
Yeah, and I think that was a double entendre for Coke in there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it was the 70s, and Coca-Cola couldn't have been bigger, and either could the other.
Next up, Chris, you hear this one talked about a lot. This is from 1962, Blowin' in the Wind from Bob Dylan.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
It was just general enough that a lot of causes picked it up for its pro-freedom message. It wasn't like real explicit in its meaning, but so many people just clung to, now you talk about change your mind with Sister Hazel, so many people clung to the lyric, how many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? You know, from anti-war protests to civil rights movements, this is probably Bob Dylan's most timeless song.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Looking to elevate your music career? DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that enables musicians to distribute their music to online stores and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, and many more. DistroKid collects earnings and payments, sending them to you, the artist. With DistroKid, artists unlock a world of possibilities. From easily paying collaborators with splits to securing your music with DistroLock, DistroKid covers all bases. Plus, you can promote your releases with Hyperfollow and create eye-catching visuals with a Spotify Canvas generator, all for free. But that's not all. Introducing the DistroKid app, now available on iOS and Android. Artists can manage their releases, view streaming stats, and withdraw earnings, all from the palm of their hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. With its simple interface and customizable mastering options, artists can make their music sound polished and professional within minutes. And don't forget about Instant Share, DistroKid's newest feature. Share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more, ensuring your music streams at the highest quality. Ready to take your music to the next level? Download the DistroKid app and explore their suite of tools today. Plus, listeners can enjoy 30% off their first year by visiting distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. That's distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes.
Do you ever want to shake Corey Matthews or DJ Tanner and be like, ugh, your life is so easy? Well, mine wasn't. Hi, I'm Holly Brown, and Everybody Knows But Me is a narrative podcast about my chaotic childhood, full of family secrets, dark comedy, and shocking revelations, all told through my love of 90s sitcoms. So grab your Beanie Babies and get ready for a show that belongs in the TGIF Hall of Fame. Subscribe to Everybody Knows But Me wherever you get your podcasts.
Next up, another 1970 song, Chris. And I just think this song absolutely rocks. When I hear it, you talk about selling a song. This artist, Edwin Starr, sold War in 1970.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Just the delivery of that, how War is sung.
Oh.
Good God, y'all. And
Dude.
just, it's got a disdain in there. It's everything rock and roll should be. Just mean and nasty and just full of vitriol but still, like, underneath it all, there was like this like hopeful pop resonance about it, if that makes sense, in a weird way.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all. Look out. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Listen to me.
That song gives me chills even today. I just like when he goes like, "Hua!" Dude, what is it good for?
I just thought of another song. Speaking of War, is Fortunate Son on there? Creedence.
Strangely, I don't have it on my list, but absolutely. And it's funny that is one of those songs that you will sometimes see people taking the wrong meaning away from. Like how they do with like Born in the USA. Like that's like
Sure.
People do that with A Fortunate Son and don't read into the lyrics. That song's about being a senator's son and not having to go to war while the poor people have to go to war. Like,
Yep.
Badass song, man.
Honorable mention to Bob Seger. He did a cover of it in the mid-'70s. Cool live version.
Yeah. Man, that should absolutely be on this list. And that fits perfectly in this Vietnam era song.
Yeah. I thought maybe that would have been on.
1973, Chris, here's one. Get Up, Stand Up by the Wailers, written by Bob Marley and Peter Tosh.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
Written in response to the social and political unrest in Jamaica, it's a call to stand up for the voiceless and all those denied basic human rights. Timeless.
You're not going to tell me that Don McLean's American Pie is on this list, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there'd be some back roads in of how you could make an argument for it being on this list. Okay, good.
No. A lot of early 70s, Chris. By the way, Get Up, Stand Up eventually became the official anthem of the human rights nonprofit Amnesty International.
And what a great recording of that song.
Yeah.
It's just so real. It breathes. If you close your eyes, you feel like you're in the room while they're tracking it. It's just really neat.
I love that. And also, Chris, I love this. You know what's funny? All these songs, I came up with this list by kind of like Googling like songs that changed the world or whatever. I love most of these songs. This one included What's Going On from Marvin Gaye in 1971.
Oh, yeah.
Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
File under the guy could sing anything.
Yeah.
He could sing what's the menu at dinner that night. Just that voice. You can't. It's just. He was born with that, man.
Yeah, and he wrote this song, an emotional appeal when Marvin was haunted by war, relational strife, and racial prejudice about him. He went into seclusion, and this is the song that transformed him from a Motown hit maker to one of the most powerful voices of his generation. A song that just addressed what was going on. 1971, man, this is where so many of these songs come from. I mean, you're in the thick of the Vietnam War and just like...
Well, the country was changing, from 65 to 75. A lot happened.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful song. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Amazing. Next one, Chris. Once again, this kind of goes back to the women's empowerment. And I know you'd have to be crazy not to love this song. From 1967, Respect from Aretha Franklin.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take out T-C-B.
Yeah, you know, this song would have been great if anybody sang it, male or female. But the fact that a lady was singing this, and she was a black lady in the 60s singing this, powerful, you know, just it crossed racial lines. It was a woman, first and foremost.
Right.
It was a woman that was saying that. And what a catchy song, spelling out the lyrics. Again, talk about simple, stupid, right? R-E-S-P-E-C-T. But man, come on.
Well, Chris, it's interesting.
It's awesome.
It's interesting you say that anyone, male or female, could have sung this song. It was written by Otis Redding, and it was originally written from a man's perspective, but Aretha's recording, of course, became the iconic version, and it topped the charts, and it was a fierce, confident declaration of a woman's equal right to respect. Great song, man. Here's one. This is the most recent one, actually, and this isn't that recent, but 1989. Can you think of a song from 1989 that would make this list, change the world?
Is it Divinals? I Touch Myself?
No, that'd be amazing if that's what it was.
Okay, hold on. No, because that was like 91. That was later. Sorry. Well, no, because that was kind of uplifting for women to be able to say, you know, like, I touch myself. Like, you know, it's not just a man, you know, it's cool when men talk about jerking off. I remember that being an uplifting song for women. That was a big deal in high school. People were buzzing about that song. 89, We Didn't Start the Fire?
Nope. Dude.
Nope.
A song that I can still put on today when I am pissed off, and it just hits the right spot. Fight the Power from Public Enemy.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power.
That song rocks. That song, man, listening to that song gets me so fired up. It just feels good. It makes you want to go out and like start a revolution or something, you know?
I mean, you know, it begs the question, were Public Enemy a punk band or a rap band?
Both.
You know?
Both.
I mean, yeah, because, I mean, you know this story. We used to drive around listening to them and NWA, and it was just like, it was a punk rock and rap form.
Dude. I mean, the song was obviously an angry response to social injustices happening in the country. And dude, I got to talk to you about this. Would Gene Simmons just shut the fuck up about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah, Gene.
Once again, talking about how hip hop shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I don't know if you saw, the reason I bring this up, Chuck D wrote him back. And Chuck D, I want to be like, fuck you, Gene Simmons. Chuck D wrote him back the most like thoughtful, not angry, just like explaining why hip hop should be a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, it was so eloquent and well thought out. Gene Simmons had to feel so stupid reading what Chuck D wrote to him. It was awesome.
Well, yeah, and again, the what barometer are we using here? Like I think the institution is a bunch of garbage to begin with.
True.
So and we've talked about that before. It's like, who decides who gets in and whatever. So the fact that Gene Simmons keeps hammering this is so tired. So tired.
That's exactly the right word, because like that argument sounds like it's from like 1993 or something. Like, you're making that argument in 2026. Like, we as a society have moved like eons past that argument.
Yeah. Well, again, how many different subcategories do you want? You know, like, right. There's a performance art Hall of Fame for bands that lip sync, and when does it end? It's
all rock and roll, and I think that Fight the Power is the perfect example. Like, you're insane if you don't think that Fight the Power falls under the umbrella of rock and roll, because that song, I will argue, that song rocks harder than any Kiss song. So there you go. Maybe not more than I Was Made for Loving You, Gene Simmons.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Which I agree, Chris, it's the best Kiss song.
Okay, could be argued.
Okay, I thought you made that argument. Maybe I'm misremembering.
No,
Okay.
that wasn't one of my favorite Kiss. I have a very few select Kiss songs I even like these days.
Yeah,
So a lot of it's because Gene's such a tool bag.
Oh, speaking of Gene, I think I may have mixed it up. It may be my friend John Bellin from Gene the Werewolf who made that argument that was the best Kiss song. Okay, last song I got for you here, Chris. From 1964, another song that I absolutely love. A Change Is Gonna Come, from Sam Cooke.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
That is such a beautiful song. And the story behind it is, in the fall of 1963, Sam and his wife and his entourage weren't allowed to stay at a Louisiana motel because of their race. And he said, here we go, Chris, you talk about one of these other songs changing the world. Sam was inspired to write this song that changed the world in its own way inspired by Blowin' in the Wind. That's the song that inspired him to write this, and it became an anthem for the civil rights movement in the mid-'60s. Those are the songs I had that changed the world. Do you feel like you mentioned a few that I thought were good? Fortunate Son was a really good choice.
No, I think that was a pretty complete list. I thought it was good. Little bummed out Divinals weren't on there, but hey,
I it's funny is I laughed at first. But then
I know, but I'm telling you, man, like girls didn't talk about masturbating in 1989, at least not where I lived, and like that was being talked about, and it's just like, well, jerking off doesn't matter if you're male or female.
That's right. Never has it been spoken more. We recently did. Never has it been spoken more purely than that, Chris. But
Thank you.
We recently did a One Hit Thunder about them. They're far from one hit wonders in Australia, but
they're big there.
But it was a really interesting one, like how cool and awesome she was. She passed away some years ago now, but I
mentioned Alanis as well. That song was just, in terms of women's liberation and empowering women, that was big.
Yeah. This list didn't really have anything recent at all on it, and I'm even like racking my brain, like, is there anything even like in the 21st century that changed the world as far as music?
I'm gonna go with Universe by Punchline.
There we go. We changed the universe with that love song.
Yeah, we went outside of Earth, man.
What's funny is, though, Chris, you really could argue any song, if it changed your life, then if it changes one person, then it did change the world in a small way. So that should be inspiration to get out there and write a song.